Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2. The whole chapter is what I got to talk about today. I'm not going to try to preach it verse by verse. We'd be here a while. But the whole chapter we'll talk about it. I want to start reading verse 10. The preacher did a good job of starting us off. Start at verse 10. He says, the Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore, there is no king, lord or ruler, that asks such things of any magician or astrologer or Chaldeans. And it is a rare thing that the king required, and there is none other that show it before the king, except the God, small G-O-D-S, whose dwelling is not with the flesh. For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forward that the wise men should be slain. It's going to kill them. And they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with the counsel and wisdom of Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, why is the decree so hasty from the king? Jump down to verse 16. Then Daniel went in and desired the king that he would give him time and that he would show the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, y'all know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they would desire mercies of God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. I want to talk about the American dream. The American dream. What is the American dream? Then only God can interpret this dream. That maybe there is a parallel between the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had and the dream that many claim to have in America. What is the American dream? I looked at Google, see what kind of definition they talked about. The American dream is a national attribute of the United States, the set of ideas, democracy, rights, liberty, opportunity, and equality, in which freedom includes the opportunity for prosperity and success, as well as for upward social mobility for the family and the children, achieved through hard work in a society with few barriers. The American dream. Let's say the Statue of Liberty, she represented this whole concept when those folks would come in back when I was a boy in the 50s. give us your coalition crowd, and said, you accept all these folk yearning to be free. I was looking at Lethal Weapon 4 when they were harboring all these Asians in the boat, and these white guys talking very hostile. Danny Glover said, what happened to this attitude? Bring us your poor and hungry, needy. What happened to all this? And the white man says, there's a sign out now, no vacancies. No vacancies. And seemingly things have changed. The same people who wanted liberty when they came here, wanted help when they came here, wanted to be accepted when they came here, those same people won't accept people coming in now. Right. Yeah. Down in Florida, some of the main folk who came from Cuba are the ones who don't want to see the Cubans come in. And then how about that to say, but we came the right way. What is the right way? When you weren't a citizen when you got here. The coming has not changed. It's the acceptance that's changed. What is the American dream? You say, well, we want to make America great again. Make America great again for who? What is the American dream? Talk to a black man, it's one thing. Talk to a white man, it's something else. Talk to a Klansman, it's one thing. Talk to a grape farmer, it's something else. What is the American dream? I'm not trying to explore what the American dream is. I'm trying to say, well, this matter of dreams may be in the same category today that Nebuchadnezzar's dream was back then. The dream troubled him. I suspect the American dream troubles us. Because the question we have, is it really our dream? Yeah. And when I look at that and see the problem Nebuchadnezzar had, he didn't really know what his dream was. And he didn't really know how to interpret the dream. And he was looking for help. Yeah. And I contend a lot of dreams we have, we don't really know. See, the problem is we don't really know what we want. Ask the person, what does it take to make you happy? What do you really want? If you can have anything you want, what do you want? And the truth be told, most people don't know what they want. They think they do. But a lot of times, we think we know what we want or what we need to be happy, and once we receive everything we claim we wanted, and we find out we really still aren't happy. We're still kind of empty. Something is missing. Well, let me look at the Bible story. If we can look at what happened then, maybe that can address what we need to be addressing now. You see this character, Daniel. Daniel finds himself in Babylon. He's in Babylon, but he's not there voluntarily. He has been taken. He's a prisoner of war. He has been taken by Nebuchadnezzar's supporters. They had this philosophy. They would take the sharpest and the brightest. They would take the people who were physically good specimens. They were intellectually superior to their peers, and he worked. In other words, he wanted the greatest minds and the greatest bodies to come to Babylon so they could teach them their culture and allow them to contribute to their culture because they are the cream of the crop. Okay? He goes to Babylon, and right away he stands out. You know, they were trying to feed them that foreign food. They said, no, we don't eat that kind of stuff. We have strict diets, and said, well, this stuff will help you be strong. Said, well, we It's about pretty good on this. And you know, they had remember the contest, and they found out that the Jewish meal had them stronger, intellectually capable, so they allowed them to eat what they normally eat, and drink what they normally drink, and do what they normally did. And it's right when I get to chapter 2 that you find this dilemma. The king has a dream. Has a dream. I'm going to start right there. It's I call it the wisdom source. The Chaldeans. That term Chaldeans is really not so much here as it's used here. It's not so much talking about a nationality. It's really talking about a group of people. It's like the magicians, the astrologers, the folk who are supposed to be the smart people. The folk you go to advice. These are what are being recognized here as the Chaldeans. These smart, these wise folk. We start with them in the room. Why are they in the room? They're in the room because the king is troubled by his dreams. He has dreams he can't explain. He has a dream that has unsettled him. He's the king. He's a powerful man. He's got all kinds of power. He has all kinds of authority. He has all kinds of riches. And yet he has a dream that troubles him. That's a sermon right there, that some dreams ought to trouble you. I don't care how important you are, I don't care how smart you are, I don't care how prosperous you are, there are some dreams that should trouble you. You know, a blank check ought to concern you. You know, I found it's not so hard when God tells you you can't have it. The problem is when God says you can have whatever. I wish I had it with you. See, I found out when God was in control and told me what I could and could not have, he kept those things away from me that would harm me, and he gave me those things that helped me. It was when I got the freedom to choose what I wanted that I started having concerns. When I was with Felix and Martinelle, I didn't have a whole lot of dilemma in life. But you know, I was restricted. I could go to bed at a certain time. You had to be in the house at a certain time. You ate a certain thing. You hung out with certain groups. It wasn't until I got grown. I was graduated from college, and I was in my apartment. And I'm sitting in my apartment. I'm grown. I can stay up as long as I want to stay up. I can do whatever I want to do. But nobody can tell me to go to bed. I decided that first night I was going to stay up till 4 o'clock that morning. I stayed up because I was scared I was wrong. And then my alarm went off at 6 o'clock. And I had to go to work. And I was sitting in my office with bags under my eyes. And my eyelids had weight on them. I said, you know what? Martinelle ain't sleeping this morning. Felix looked pretty good. The only one messed up is me, because I was free to stay up as long as I want. And you find out, because you're free to do it don't mean it's good for you. You got to understand that everything you can do is really not good for you. Some dreams are scared. Right. He's afraid of his dream, so he calls his wise men. But when he calls his wise men, why do they consider wise men? These are the sharp minds. These are the astrologers. These are the magicians. These are the Chaldeans. These are the people who are supposed to know. I call the people who are the smartest, the most intelligent, so they can interpret for me my dream. And the way King James figured out was running, because he's asking them to interpret a dream that he don't want to tell them. And the way the King James said it, he didn't know himself what the dream was, but when you do the research, you find out he knew the dream, but he didn't want to tell them the dream because he suspected they aren't what they claim to be. See, everybody who's supposed to be smart ain't smart as they pretend to be. Anytime somebody claims he has all the answers, that's a secret that maybe he kind of messed up. Anytime a person thinks they know everything, you better run fast as you can from it. The real essence of wisdom, the real essence of intelligence is knowing your limitations. The smartest thing told me when I was in college was my freshman year of Brooklyn in an English class, English technical writing class. And the guy said, the first thing you need to learn is that nobody knows everything.
Yeah.
And no matter how long you go to school and how often you study, you will never learn everything. And since you don't know everything, that means everybody, anybody can teach you something you don't know.
Amen.
He suspected something was up. And so he decided, I want you to interpret my dream, but since you're so smart, I want you to tell me what my dream is. Wait a minute. You got to at least tell us the dream, King. If you don't tell us what the dream is, how are we supposed to interpret your dream for you? You got to at least, nobody don't ask somebody to interpret a dream and you won't tell them what it is. But you claim you're smart. You can't claim you got some connection with the gods. You claim you know something that other men don't know. Tell me what my dream is. It can't be done. It can't be done. You asking us to do the impossible. I tell you what, if you don't tell me what my dream is, I won't care. Yeah, every last one of y'all cut in so many pieces, your mama won't recognize you. Now, that's not fair. That's not logical. Look at that. Now Daniel is taken, he's considered a wise man. Question the first question. Why wasn't Daniel in that room? He considered a wise man, and yet he wasn't called when the first group met. But when it came time to die as a wise man, he got to die like all of them. Because he was considered a wise man. So when they come grouping up everybody, gang everybody up, getting everybody together to kill him, they said, wait a minute, why the king want to kill us? So he found out the details, and they won't tell him his dream. They said, oh, I can tell him. Let me go talk to him. He goes to talk to the king. And the king talks to him and says, I tell you, give me some time. Give me some time, I'll give you an answer. Look at that. He leaves the king. He gets his friends. He said, look at man, we got to do some hard praying. Because we need God to tell us what the king has written. Wow.
Yeah.
We got to pray. Did y'all see that? Y'all see how impossible that is? But at the same time, as impossible as it might be, you see how spiritual they are.
Yeah.
You see, the wisdom source is what I'm talking about. You find out being wise is one thing, but when somebody claims to be wise, you need to ask another question. What is your source of wisdom? Wise, where did your wisdom come from? I went to Harvard. Because Harvard is superior to Texas Southern. I went to Oxford. Oxford is superior to Southern. See, but you can try to say, well, MIT is superior to Harvard. And Harvard is superior to Oklahoma State. But the bottom line is, where does real wisdom come from?
Yes, sir. Come on now.
The Bible declares real wisdom. Wisdom comes from God. So when Daniel found himself in a dilemma where he needs wisdom, he says, I need to go to the wisdom source. Power source. If I need an answer, I'm going to the person who asks questions. If I need my problem solved, I'm going to the problem solver. I'm going to the source.
Hallelujah.
Because the source said in the beginning was the source. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God. I'm going to the beginning. I'm not going to a big bang And so they prayed. I don't have time to preach this thing, got me excited. But when he prayed, and God reveals to him the answer, you know the first thing he did? He threw a praise party. The first thing he did was just start praising God. I know you the God of answers, and that's why I came to you. I know you the God who can tell secrets, that's why I came to you. I know you the God that have what I need, and that's why I came to you. But even after God gave him what he asked God to give him, instead of him running to the king and saying, I got an answer, instead of him running to the king and saying, I can interpret your dream, the Bible said the first thing he did, he started praising God. I thank God that you're the kind of God you are. I thank God that you are my God. I thank God that you have always. I thank God that you got enough of me to share with me what you know. I thank God that you put your hands on me, that you have your protection. And I thank God that you are who you are. Praise the Lord. See the difference? That preacher said this morning, and it's really true. You cannot mature spiritually without growing in humility.
Yeah.
You cannot mature spiritually without growing in humility. See, the older you get, some people just get older, but they are spiritually mature. Because you get older don't mean you smarter. Because you get older don't mean you know more. Because you've been with God a long time don't mean that you know who God is. To show your maturity has to be a demonstration of humility. You see somebody always bragging about what they are, bragging about what they know, bragging about how strong they are, bragging about how great they are, bragging about their position. I am a doctor. See, I told you these two men here, both of them PhDs, but see, some people you got to tell it everywhere you go. Some doctors won't let you call their name without put a doctor in front of it. Reverend Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes. Yeah, they don't say that on the French web. But if I see him and say Freddie, they say, hey, Dave, what's going on? You see what I'm trying to tell you? Because I have it don't mean that's what makes me. It has to be more than just that. The more I walk with God, the more I know God, the more I recognize it's really all about God. It really doesn't have a whole lot to do with me. You know, I study, I read, I know some facts, I know some knowledge, but you know what? The more I learn, the more I realize what I don't know. The more I learn, the more I realize all I really know came from Him. You praise God. You praise God. This captain of God, when Daniel tells him he has an answer, he goes to the king and says, I found somebody. I found somebody who can interpret your dream. I found somebody. You know, make our folk take credit for God's stuff. When Daniel goes before the king, thank you, man, and he's got the answers to the king's problem. King, do you know how to interpret my dream? Do you know my dream? Look what Daniel said. No. I don't know. I didn't, well, I got the answers, but I didn't get the answers because I'm so smart. He said, no magician, no astrologer, no person, no candy, no person of wisdom can answer your question. I'm in that same group. He said, but the difference is that I know somebody. Look at what his wise man said. What you asking only the gods, small G-O-D, gods know. And gods don't fool with me. Y'all don't mess with me. In other words, they contradicting themselves. They claim they're talking about the minds and the gods, but they're saying God don't talk to me. Look what Daniel said. Daniel is just the opposite. He said only God, not gods. Only God knows. But the only reason I know because God told me what he knows. You see the difference is different. Then I know what I know because God shared with me what he knows. I know the secret because God told me what the secret is. I know because God is the source. I'm moving on, and the rest won't take as long. Let me just tell you something. If you want to really improve your life, stop pretending you know what you really don't know. If you really want to know what you need to know God. Amen. There's nothing more coming in life. I don't care. It might be on your job, you still need to call on God. It might happen in your classroom, you still got to call on God. It might happen in your bedroom, you still need to call on God. You got a marriage problem, call on God. You got a professional problem, call on God. You got a neighborhood problem, call on God. You got a society problem, call on God. We got a race problem in this country, but the solution is still God. We've got to call on the Lord, and the Lord is the answer. The king suspected that his wise men was trying to exploit him, so he wanted to kill him. But Daniel says, hey, I got an answer. And my God is able. Real wise men know who should be leading them and directing them. They don't take credit for God's blessing, but they give God the glory. Thank God for the light. Thank God for the light. Thank God for the light. In life, there are some dark moments. In life, there are some things we don't have the answer to. In life, there are some trouble moments because I don't know how I'm going to see it through. But you know what? That's what God is. He's the light. In the dark situation, he's the light. And I found out he doesn't always shine the light on my dark path. Sometimes he just let me know he's the light source. And I just need to get closer to him. And he'll let me know when he wants to shine on what I need to see. I see this wisdom source, I see this world is secret. The world is secrets. But when Daniel had this dream interpreted to him, the solution comes up kind of crazy. I mean, it's like it's an interpretation, but it's almost like it doesn't make sense. Because see, what Daniel is saying in his dream is more than just what Nebuchadnezzar needs to know. He's saying your dream is really about the future. And when he told him it's about the future, he's not talking about later on this year. He's not talking about when he gets older in life. When he says your dream is about the future, he's talking about the future time. Daniel's in the Old Testament. Brother James is in the Old Testament. But guess what? The future he's talking about is even beyond where we are right now. He talks about a future that John talks about in Revelation. He talks about a future that's eschatological and down the road. Way in the future. Look at this. I saw a statue. Now when you get home, Google the statue. All you got to do is say statue in Daniel 2. They already know that's chapter 2. You don't mean second Daniel. And feet, the feet were made of iron and clay. Wow. A statue. King is worthy. A gold statue. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, gold in the limit, that's top, that's one. Silver, that's second place. Bronze, I'm sorry, third place. We ain't talking about the limits. We talking about life. King, you was a great king. You got a great kingdom. You were a great nation. You the gold head. He's really talking about nations, empires. He said the Babylonian empire is at the top. It's the greatest. You're at the top. You're the golden empire. But it doesn't stop with the Babylonian empire. I don't have time to go through all of it. But he also goes down to the Persian empire. That's what Nebuchadnezzar's empire ended up turning into the Persian empire, the Medo-Persian empire. And then it goes to the Grecian empire. Then it goes to the Roman empire. The Roman empire is the higher one. And then it ended up with the divided kingdom. The divided kingdom at the bottom. Because the feet are made of clay and iron. Look at this. Now, the gold is considered more valuable, but do you know gold is pretty soft as the metal?
Yes, it is.
Huh?
Yeah.
And then silver is less valuable than gold, but silver is harder than the gold.
Yes, it is.
Come on, here's something back.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Bronze is harder than the silver.
Yes.
See, the one at the top is the most expensive, but it's not the most, I wish I could, it's not the hardest.
Yes. Yes, sir.
It's a brilliant empire, but it's not the strongest empire.
Yes.
You get all the way down to the iron, that's the Roman Empire. It was considered one of the greatest empires, but it really wasn't all that smart. See, Rome had some kind of solution, but Rome had a problem keeping stuff together. They were so spread, they could never keep it intact. It was always hard to keep their fingers on what was going on. Great empire. In fact, our whole judicial system is set up basically from the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Senators and great empire, but it's lacking. Still not gold.
Yeah.
He said, but King, I want you to understand, you're the greatest, you got a great empire, but there's going to come another empire that's going to be weaker than the one you have. And there's another empire that comes after that, it'll be weaker than that. And there's another one that will come, it'll end up being weaker than that. But brother, you just said they were strong, yeah, but you see the empires that they were, literally, these were all empires made by man.
Yeah.
The dream didn't stop there. You see, my brothers and sisters, that's the problem. We know how to make our statues. We know how to have our gold and our silver and our bronze. We are trying to accumulate that which deem as being so valuable and so important, but you really don't know what's important. The world's secrets is that you put together all this finery and you can brag on what you have and you can talk about how valuable it is, but the bottom line is you got to get to the feet. It's not until you get to the feet. You see, with all that gold and all that silver and bronze and all that iron, you still got clay feet. Your feet are still made of clay. You want to brag about your head, but you still got clay feet. You want to brag about your silver, but you got clay feet. You talk about how strong your legs are, but you got clay feet. You're only strong as your foundation. With all your strength, you're still weak. With all your knowledge, you're still dumb. With all you claim you know, you're still making the same mistake over and over and over again. As smart as we are, we still having wars. People still killing each other. But we're so smart. We're more intelligent. We want to go to the moon. Why do you want to go to the moon? You haven't even learned how to live here on earth. You want to send everybody to his planet and that planet because you think if you were by yourself, you could get along all right. If we didn't have black folk here, we'd be all right. If we didn't have white folk, we'd be all right. You know what I found out? You can lock yourself up in the me close. He says, talking about this word and worship, the worship word is stone. The worship word is stone. This stone that's worthy of worship. He says, there came a stone, and the stone crushed the feet. Where did the stone come from? He said, this was not a man-made stone. This stone was hewed out. I wish I had a witness here. From another source. It was hewed out by God.
Yeah.
This stone crashes the feet. These feet made out of iron and clay. And the funny part about Brother Dixon, when the stone smashed the feet, so we all know it's just clay. The Bible says when he crashed the feet, the whole statue crumbled. When the stone crushed the feet, the whole statue crumbled. And when the whole statue crumbled, the Bible says the wind blew it, and it was like the chaff. Come on here, somebody. Mr. Wind, drive it away. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't know what the stone is until you find out who the stone is. See, Daniel said he's trying to show you the future. And what Daniel was showing Nebuchadnezzar was too deep even for Nebuchadnezzar. He was just happy to live, find out he gonna live out his little section. But Daniel said, oh, it's deeper than that. You go down the road to find out something about this stone. You better find out this stone, because this stone is what crushed everything else. You got a Babylonian empire, but this empire was stronger than that Babylonian empire. You got a Persian empire, but it's stronger than the Persian empire. It's stronger than the Greece. It's stronger than the Paris empire. The Paris empire. It's stronger than the Roman Empire. It's this divided kingdom. The foot and the clay, the iron and the clay. This divided kingdom is this new kingdom. And you know the divided kingdom, when Israel was divided, the north from the south, this divided kingdom is really the preface to the real kingdom. Because the kingdom is divided, but the divided kingdom eventually comes together under this stone. You don't know who the stone is. Jesus put the stone that the builders rejected, he says, has become the chief cornerstone. In other words, when you're going to build a kingdom, you take the one stone that they rejected. Who rejected it? Well, when the southern kingdom was at war with the northern kingdom, they rejected God because they didn't want the stone. When Jesus comes on the scene, he's born in a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes, because he is the stone that they rejected. He came to his own, and his own received him not, because he's the stone that they rejected. He's the stone that they didn't want. Do I have a witness here? And all I'm trying to tell you, you can't really build anything worth building unless you got the key, the chief cornerstone at the start. I wish I had a witness here. See, the cornerstone, they didn't have no foundation. The cornerstone was the stone that really determined the foundation. The cornerstone tells you which part in that direction is level and which part in that direction is level. In other words, you're going to toe your line on this side and you're going to toe your line on that side, and all the walls got to plumb up with that line. He said that's who the cornerstone is. You see, some of y'all trying to build a building, but you got the wrong cornerstone. When I built my house, I had a man, O.B. Moore. He's going to glory, but he was meticulous about laying the foundation. When I was with the man, I hired a contractor, a carpenter, who helped me to build the form for my foundation. Real clear, I thought that was easy. Just put you some boards up there. And I found out he wouldn't let me just do that. No. He had to look through some machine. He had to look through an instrument to make sure certain things were a certain height. He had to make sure that it was straight, it was in a line. I said, why is he taking all this time? He said, Rev, your foundation is the most important part of your house. If your foundation ain't level, it's no way your house, I wish I had a witness here, is going to be level. Well, he poured my foundation. I had some old men pour the foundation. Didn't matter because the form was right. And as long as the form was right, they had to pour it right. O.B. Moore was a friend of mine. He would pour concrete foundations for a living. But the old boy knew how to build a house. And when it came down to the foundation, the foundation is already poured. He's going to lay the plates for my house walls. I figured the foundation is already here. You just line them up, but that everything is fine. No. You see, you got to make sure that there's a 90-degree measurement between one wall and the other wall. Y'all better hear me. See, I'm trying to tell you, there are a lot of houses folk are living in that's crooked. There are a lot of houses folk are living in that's not level. And you know what I found? It's not just houses, it can also be lives. Now, you see, when my bricklayer came along and he was laying the bricks, and he was meticulous about laying the bricks, and I'm wondering, he wouldn't even let me hit a brick unless he go and hit it again. I mean, man, why are you so meticulous? He said, well, you see, a lot of houses got bricks, but they're not laid right. And then he took me down my neighborhood. He pointed out all of the flaws with the houses in my neighborhood. Ain't nowhere in the world, Brother Jackson, I ever would have known the flaws because I didn't know what right was. But you see, once you find the right way, you can recognize, oh, I wish I had already said, you can recognize the wrong way. And he showed me what was wrong. And so when I got to mine, when he laid that last brick, it was level all the way across. You could see the whole brick all the way down the line. It's like that 2620 Burgundy. Right now, there's no one. You see, sometimes you go and look at a house and you see this much of a brick on this corner, and you go on the next corner and you can see the whole brick. That's because the level, the foundation wasn't level. It's not straight. Well, all I'm trying to tell you, if you want to have a level house, you got to make sure you got the right cornerstone. Jesus is the one you want to really have. He says, well, I did not come to destroy, but I came to defend. I didn't come to smash you, but I came to seek and to save. That's when he came the first time. When the stone came the first time, he came to seek and to save. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. But he said, yes, when he comes the second time, he's not coming to seek and to save. He's coming to smash and to crush. Oh, y'all don't get it. The first time he came to save you, but the last time he's not going to try to save you. He's going to crush you and he's going to step on you. Well, my brothers and sisters, when he stepped on the feet, the whole stature crumbled. When he stepped on the feet, the whole stature came down. Yeah, he came the first time to seek and to save, but when he comes again, all this mess that you think is all that, he's going to step on it and it's going to crumble down. All these worldly kingdoms, he's going to get rid of them. And Daniel said, I got some news for you. There's a stone that the builders rejected, but when the stone comes, he's going to do his job. And when he does his job, that which appears to be valuable will be crumbled like dust. I'm closing now. But you want to know what the American dream is? I don't know what your dream is. Somebody said, I dream I'm going to live in a better neighborhood. Somebody said, I dream I'm going to have a better job. Somebody said, I dream I'm going to drive a more expensive car. Somebody said, I dream I'm going to have a big bank account. But I came by to tell you, whatever your dreams are, you better make sure that you dream you got the right cornerstone. Whatever your dreams are, knees and prostrated before Daniel and said, your God is really God. Your God is really who God is all about. Oh, my brothers and sisters, that's all I want to tell you. Make sure you call on the Lord. Make sure you walk with God. Make sure that God is the secret in your life and takes away your way. Because when the storm gets through, he'll give you something worth shouting about. When the storm gets through, you have to praise him just like Daniel praised him. When the storm gets through, he'll lead you in the right direction. Here it is, an Israelite, a Hebrew boy in a strange land. But look at God. God elevates him and put him in a high position. And not only he's a wise man, but he's over all the other wise men. Do I have no witness here? God put him in a position, but sometimes the hard position can make you a target. So while he's in a high position, his life is now in question. But he just called on the same God. Because if God elevates you, he can keep you where he elevated right there in the next chapter. I don't know what happened to Daniel, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the king just got through saying your God is the real God. But when they wouldn't bow to a calf, a golden statue, the Bible said that he said, if you don't bow, I'm going to have to throw you in the fire. And they said, oh king, we were not careful. Oh king, we are not choosing our words carefully. Oh king, we don't worry about your attitude. We want you to hear what we said. The God we serve, he's able to deliver us. He's able to get us out of the fiery furnace. But even if you don't get us out, the God we serve, he's still able. Because he's able. He might not do it, but if he doesn't do it, we want you to remember he's able to deliver us. Is there anybody here want the world to know he's able to deliver us? Storm may rise, winds may blow, the hurricane might knock my house down, but the God serve, he's able to carry me through. And he does it or not, I want you to know he's able to put a fence around me. He's able to hold his hand all around me. What the world may do, try, Jesus, he satisfies, he's able to hear your cry, trust him in everything you do, he's able to carry you through, he's able, he's able to carry you through. Is there anybody here who knows my Jesus? Is there anybody here who knows what